Hello and welcome to the Climbing Daily Friday Gear Show. Now it's getting to be that time of year where we look back at the best equipment and gear from 2018. And as well as giving you guys an opportunity to see some gear you might have missed, it allows me to tell you what I think on a more long-term test basis. So we're going to start with the BL Ghost harness. Now this is a special bit of kit. It's ultra lightweight and only 250 grams. And we thought, look, we can't just do a normal review of this. We have to put it to the test properly. So we took it up into the mountains, we took it down to a trad crag, and we went indoor for some sport climbing. Check out the clip.
So we've just come through the little cruxy section of this route. I'm almost at the hut, and as you can see, well, maybe not, the weather behind us is starting to come in and there's a big storm forecast. So we're gonna run along this last bit of ridge, get to the hut, and then get back to the midi as quick as possible.
That was a super fun day, and if you want to watch the rest of that video, the link is in the description below. So I've been wearing the BL Ghost harness since that video in summer. What do I think of it? Well, I was concerned that because it's so fast and light, it's going to be uncomfortable. And yeah, I know this is for red points and you shouldn't be hanging around in your harness, but honestly, I spend most of my time climbing, dogging routes, hanging around, just, falling off a lot. And I wanted my harness to be comfortable. I've had no real issues with it, to be honest. I mean, yeah, it's not going to be like super comfortable like a big walling harness, but it does the job absolutely fine. It doesn't cut off all the circulation to my legs, and I've had no issues with it in terms of that. Now in that video, I talked about how it's got different gear loops. So it's got a big gear loops at the front, this kind of reinforced plastic section here and here, but it's got the cord gear loops at the back. Now the idea of that is it reduces weight and it reduces the profile of the harness, but it kind of makes it struggle for racking up. Now that's not a problem when you're hard red pointing. You'll have the quick draws in the wall already, but for alpine climbing, personally, I would like that to be a bit more rigid because it kind of lets the gear flop around a little bit and all bunch up. So I'd recommend that if you are using this for alpine climbing, use this for fast and light missions where you only need a few ice screws, a few cams, a few nuts, something like that. Don't use this for longer, big multi-pitch alpine rock climbs or just times you need a lot of equipment because although they work, they don't work as well as a normal gear loop. But for me, with the Ghost harness, the biggest advantage is just the light weight of it and how small it folds down. I've always used a sort of mid-range harness like the Black Diamond Momentum or the Petzl Cortex thing. And yeah, it's fairly light, but it does have quite a bulky feel to it, especially when in a backpack. With this thing, you just fold it up and it's just tiny. I mean, you could put it in your pocket almost. Is also, and this might just be for me, but it's brilliant on aeroplanes. You know when you have just hand luggage, this thing just folds into your bag and you can put it in just in case you go to a climbing wall, and I've done that quite a lot. It's not going to improve your grade by sort of 7 or 8 grades. You're not suddenly going to be climbing 9A with this thing, but it does feel good when it's on, and it's the packability that I love the most about the BL Ghost harness. It's also super good value, especially compared to some other brands. Okay, so that's the harness done. Next, we're going to look at this chalk bag from Y&Y. It has this crazy magnetic closure system. And again, we thought, how do we film this in an interesting way? I mean, we could go bouldering, or we could climb the EpicTV office. Into the campus section, just coming through here, just making it a bit quicker. I'm gonna go high heel here, so really upside down. No issues. Chalk up the other hand and busting through now. Second chalk up place. Starting to feel the pump. Need quick access to your chalk bag. Don't want to faff around with this. Just steady the nerves. Have a little think about the consequences of blowing this move. So here we go. Dropping down, using that little foothold,
spot the landing.
Again, another good day at work. And that video actually got lots and lots of comments from you guys. Some people were saying that they hated the idea, they thought it was pointless and rubbish. Other people saying they loved it and it was innovative. But whatever you thought, we did sell quite a lot of these off the back of it. So there's obviously a demand for this kind of chalk bag. So I have been using it. What do I think? Well, first of all, it doesn't work as well if you fill it up really high. In that video, actually, I kind of brimmed the chalk bag. And the problem with that is when you push down the magnetic bit, it kind of catches on the chalk if it's high and flicks it back up, and it doesn't close as well. So I'd recommend that if you were using this, just kind of go halfway or certainly below that magnetic closure system. I do find it a little bit grabby, especially when sport climbing. It's just another thing to kind of put your hand into and grab you. But for me, where it just really excels, it's at the bouldering wall. So this is my normal kind of workflow process, is I chalk up, I drop my chalk bag and it falls over and I spill chalk, and I have to do that slappy thing on the mat to get the chalk back onto my hands. It is a problem, and I don't think it's just me who has that problem. I think I see it loads of times in climbing walls where you spill chalk everywhere. This just solves that problem, and in the long run, that's going to save you an awful lot of money. I also just love the innovation of it. I mean, chalk bags work. We all know they work, they're fine, but why we're like, you know, how can I improve this? How can I step up the chalk bag game? It's kind of cool, it's kind of quirky, it's definitely for the climber who thinks they've got everything. And we have EpicTV branded Y&Y chalk bags in the shop. They're very, very limited edition and they're almost sold out. So if you want to get one and you want our logo on it, make sure you grab one quickly. Okay, so that's kind of gear done. Let's talk about climbing shoes. So I'm lucky enough to get sent quite a few pairs of climbing shoes to try out and use, and I do take that quite seriously and really put it to the test. So the two standout shoes for me this year was the 510 Quantum VCS and the Mad Rock Drone. Now, although when you look at it, they seem kind of similar, they're both high performance shoes, they're fairly expensive, and they're quite specific. They are very different. So we'll start with the Quantum. Very, very stiff shoe. It's got stealth rubber on the bottom, which means it's very sticky, and because of the way the midsole is designed and the way the rand is designed, it's just so stiff. You can see it here when I'm trying to bend that midsole. It doesn't go anywhere. It's a brilliant edging shoe because of that, and I've used this extensively on limestone edges where it's really excelled itself. Those tiny little nubbins, those little bumps in the rock, you can just lay down so much power off this shoe. I like the big toe patch on the front. The shape and the fit of the shoe, I said when I originally got this, it felt a bit odd, and it is a bit odd. It's sort of, flappy is the wrong word, but there's a lot of material in this top section, and although it does hold your foot in place, it feels slightly bulky compared to other climbing shoes. It's not a problem, it just took a little getting used to, and now it feels great and it fits probably better than a lot of my other shoes. I like the chunky design of the straps. It's not going to break, and it hasn't broken so far. The heel feels great, and that's interesting for me because usually 510 shoes, the heel feels pretty awful for me, but this one fits beautifully. So I also use it on multi-pitches because it's comfortable, because you can just take it off, and because it supports your midsole. If you're on a big, long, huge wandering multi-pitch, you can keep this on all day and your feet don't get tired. You can see it's starting to break away at the front, but I've literally used this non-stop for about a year, well, over a year now. So it's kind of to be expected, and there's no other wear anywhere else. So this has kind of now been relegated to more of a gym shoe, and that's where the problem with this comes in. Although it looks like a bouldering shoe, it's not really, I don't think. It's too stiff, it's not quite downturned enough. So for me, my bouldering shoe is the Mad Rock Drone. Very soft, very flexible. I like the rubber. I love the toe patch. Just wodge that into holes and it holds perfectly. It's a shoe that I didn't think I'd love, but when I tried it on, I just was absolutely blown away by the performance of it. And it's that softness, it's that flexibility that I really like, especially in font, especially on any kind of sandstone, gritstone. This is a beautiful, beautiful shoe. Again, Velcro system, very nice, and it's super comfortable. It's got that sort of sock fit thing going on. So yeah, so Quantum, my sport climbing shoe. I climbed my first AA in this, so it kind of has a special place in my heart. And the Drone, my bouldering shoe, just love it, shove it in my bag, use it for everything. Good indoors as well. Now, next year, I've got a few exciting shoes in my cupboard, including this baby, the Boreal Ninja. Loads of people have been sending me questions about this. It's a really sexy shoe, and we will be talking about this January-ish. Also got the Scarpa Fury S, which is his limited edition, Scarpa Fury S80, which is a limited edition shoe, and we'll be talking about that. And I've just got a pair of Tenaya Oasis. I've never worn Tenaya, so kind of interested to see how that goes. So yeah, that's it guys. Thank you so much for watching the Gear Show over this year. Please do comment, let me know if there is any shoes or pieces of equipment that we've missed that you want us to talk about. And let us know if there's anything on the market that you want us to review and film. And this show is basically for you guys, so please let us know. That's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.